These goats make more than most teachers. Out here in the mountains in Virginia, you might see the mountains behind me, just collecting my thoughts, taking a break from the city. Haven't gone into the office in a while. That's funny because I work from home. But yeah, I just wanted to take this time to tell everybody out there that, you know, it doesn't matter where you are located. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. It doesn't matter what country you're in, what town you're in. There's a lot of people who try to make excuses and say that, you know, they can't start a business because of where they're located, or they can't take control of their career because of where they're located. Location is not a factor. Location can be an asset, on the other hand. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in a big city, that could be a plus or a minus. If you're away from a big city, that could be a plus or a minus. So location is just one aspect of the whole equation, you know? The equation is much bigger than that. And if you let your location control or dictate your future, then, you know, you'll never be able to take control of your life and your career. So I'm out here in the mountains, maybe even you might say in the forest. You can look around and there's trees everywhere and not a lot of people, not a lot of houses. And it just reminds me that, you know, it's so amazing that I'm able to teach from anywhere. This morning I had a lesson. I also made some training material for people who are doing my programs, and it's just so great that it doesn't matter what location I'm in, that I can still do the work that I love and I can still help people around the world. So I think that everybody needs to gain a little bit of perspective on what it really means to be a teacher and what it really means to have a teaching business or any kind of business. Because you can make excuses all day, but in the end, excuses don't make money. You have to take action. You have to do the work. You have to follow the steps. There's simple steps to follow. I mean, a lot of people want to be successful, but they don't want to follow the simple steps to success. And those steps have been laid out by successful person after successful person, and, you know, it's not hard to follow. You just can't be lazy. You just have to get up and do the work. And as long as there are people who think that their location is going to limit them, like I hear it all the time. People contact me, they say, hey, I'd love to join your program, your teaching business program. And I would love to join it. I'd love to learn how to set up my own teaching business. I'd love to learn how to take control of my teaching career. They tell me that, and then they make excuses. And then they say, but you know what? Where I'm at, my internet connection isn't very good. Where I'm at, it's always raining. Where I'm at, I don't speak the language of the people around me. Where I'm at, you know, they can use any excuse in the book to try to get out of just doing the simple things that they need to do to be successful. And when you spend your time making excuses instead of getting results, well, the future doesn't look very good for a person who does that. So here's what we can do instead. What we need to do is we need to make a decision, a full decision. Now, what does a full decision mean? A full decision means that you decide and then you do it immediately. You immediately start doing it. So we need to make a full decision that our location is not going to dictate our success. All right? Tell me that. Tell me that you're going to do that. Tell yourself, more importantly. You know, say it to yourself and write it down. My location does not dictate my success. And then you need to apply that to other aspects of your life. Location is just one of them. Like we said, it's just one part of this equation. So other aspects of that might be my financial situation. My financial situation is not going to dictate my success. Another one might be my family situation. Tell yourself, write it down. My family situation is not going to dictate my success. It might be the people around you. The people around you are not going to dictate your success. And then you need to remind yourself of that, and you need to take action that follows that shows that you understand that completely. That's making a full decision. Make a full decision right now to be successful. And being successful means that you're not going to let those other factors dictate your life and your success. You have so many opportunities to succeed, and it's so easy to succeed. Really, it's really easy. You know, a lot of people just don't know the simple steps. They're so easy. Like, for a long time in my life, I didn't know what those steps were. And for a long time in my life, I thought that it wasn't my fault. I thought that it was everything around me. I thought I wasn't born into a rich family. I thought that that was what was stopping me from being successful. I thought that, I couldn't get a good job because I didn't have experience, because I wasn't rich or something like that. I thought that my financial situation was going to dictate my future forever. And when you think like that, it's going to limit you and you'll never be successful. Because how can you be successful if you think that you can never be successful? Of course, you're not going to take the steps that you need to take to become successful. That's what I used to think. I used to think that I just didn't have the right opportunities. I used to think that. I used to think that there's just some magic that happens that makes people successful. That's so naive. There's no magic. There's no luck. There's no chance. If you want to be successful, you do it yourself. You make the decision. You follow the steps. You follow the steps every day. That's the part. That's the hard part. That's the part that separates the successful people and the unsuccessful people. The successful people follow the steps every day. The unsuccessful people follow the steps one day. And then the next day they forget about it. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can just follow these steps and you'll be successful. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can stop following the steps or never follow them at all, never learn them, and be unsuccessful. It's your decision. But don't blame it on anything else. It's only you. It's all up to you. That's probably the most important lesson that you need to learn. So if there's anything that you take from this video, I wanted this video to be about how you can teach from anywhere. You can have a business from anywhere. You can do that from anywhere. You can be successful from anywhere. But if there's one thing that you take from this video, probably that's the most important lesson, is that you can't blame your current situation. You can't blame where you are right now in your life on anything but yourself. Once you really understand what that means, in your heart, in your soul, in your bones, when your mind just automatically operates on that assumption that, okay, something didn't work, that's my fault. When you understand what that really means on a deep level, then you can start to be successful. That's the first step of success. And that's, ask any successful person whose fault it was that they weren't successful earlier. And they're going to tell you it was my fault. It was their own fault. That's what I would tell you. I'd say I wasn't successful then because I didn't think the right things, because I didn't learn them, because it was my fault. I'm not going to say it's the government, it's the economy. I'm not going to say it was the weather, it was the location. Come on. That is BS. Location doesn't matter at all. I'm here in the mountains in Virginia. I'm in the middle of nowhere, really. The closest gas station, I think, is like 10 miles away. I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot of houses around. There's a lot of animals. But that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop me at all, because all I need are those steps to success. And it's very easy to follow. And if you're determined and you really want to be successful, then you're going to do it. No one's going to stop you. No location, no government, no president, no economy, no family situations, lack of money. None of that stuff is going to stop you. So if you have the drive, if you have the motivation, if you know what you want, then it's going to be really easy for you to succeed. And I try to attract those people, like making these videos like this one. I try to attract those people so that they'll be near me, so that I'll have successful people around me. Because those are the people you want to have around you. You want to have people around you who are going to support you in that decision. So when you make a full decision to be successful, to have the life that you want to have, when you make that decision, you have to find people who support it. There's going to be a lot of friends and family and people who you know and people who know you who tell you that it's never going to work, especially when you want to start your own business or, you know, a teaching business or any other kind of business. When you tell people that you want to go out on your own and you want to make money on your own, people are going to tell you that you're crazy. People are going to tell you that you're going to fail. I'm sure of that. Like, I don't even know who you are watching this, but I know that that's what people are going to tell you, because that's what everyone does. That's people. That's humans. Humans are terrible. But that doesn't stop us from trying to help and trying to teach and trying to improve, right? So don't listen to humans. Don't listen to other people. Don't listen to what the people around you tell you. No, that's BS. They tell you that stuff because they've never been through it. They don't have that experience. They don't know what they're talking about. And you don't either. But you're trying to find out at least. You're trying to learn it. Because you made a full decision to be successful. You made a full decision that this is what you're going to have in your future. And you admitted to yourself that it's your fault that you're not there right now. If you did that, then I applaud you. You are on the road. You're on the path to success. If you watch this video, you hear what I'm saying, but, you know, you're saying, how could it all be my fault? I can't control the weather. I can't control the government. I can't control the economy. You know, then I don't mean to laugh at you, but I feel sorry for you, because the future does not look very bright. It's bright here in Virginia, though. Look at that. Look at that sun up there. That's nice, right? Yeah, it's beautiful out here. Sometimes it's great to go to a beautiful place and work. I'm a workaholic. I love working. I love going towards my goals. And you know why I love that? I love that because that's part of the success equation. It's an easy step for me to follow. Every morning I wake up and I say, am I going to be successful? And I know the answer. I know it's yes, because I know the steps. And when you know the steps, you have just one choice: follow the steps or don't follow the steps. I mean, sure, there's a lot of people who don't know the steps, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we help people, learn things. That's why we as teachers help to teach people things, because people need to know important information like the steps to success. But if you know the steps and you're just lazy, then you have no excuse. I mean, it's just your fault. And I can tell you the steps. I mean, they're very easy. They're very simple. Number 1, decide what you want. Number 2, make a plan to get what you want. Number 3, execute the plan until you get what you want. There's also number 4, which is reevaluate your plan if you haven't gotten what you want and you think you're not going in the right direction. That's a little higher level, I'd say. But the most difficult part is not the deciding what you want. Most people can say, I want $1 million, I want a Ferrari, I want to buy an island. Most people know that. Some people have other goals. You know, they say, I want to save the world peace. Maybe people have those goals. That's fine too. I think you need more concrete, more specific goals, but that's fine if your goals are, less material than others. Then you make a plan, right? Then you make a plan. You say, okay, in order to do that, I need to do this and this and this and this. And the plan has to be realistic. And the plan has to work backwards from your goal. So you set the goal in the future, and then you know the steps moving back. So back to today. So for example, if it was make $1 million, then you would say, okay, make $1 million. I want to make $1 million by, in 10 years or something like that, whatever is realistic for you. And then you're going to work backwards from that. So you're going to divide 1 million by 10. So that's going to be, 100,000. So you need to make $100,000 every year for the next 10 years to make $1 million in the next 10 years. And so now you know how much you need to make in 1 year. You went from 10 years, a 10-year goal, to 1 year. Now you know your step for that year. Now you're going to break that down. You're going to divide that by 12 months or 52 weeks or 365 days. You're going to find out exactly how much you need to make in each of those time periods in order to reach your goal. That's planning. That's step number 2 of the success steps. And number 3 is the hardest. Number 3 is the one that stops you already from succeeding. Number 3 is why there are successful people and unsuccessful people. If it was just about setting a goal and planning the goal, everyone would be successful. I mean, you'd have to be extremely lazy not to set your goal and not to plan your goal. There might be some of you out there who are that lazy. But if you're watching this video, I hope that this helps you to gain some perspective on that. But you should be able to set your goal. You should be able to choose your goal and plan how to achieve it. The hard part is executing on that plan. So, if that's where you are, if you can't execute, if that's where you are, if you know what you want, but you just can't make yourself do it, then you need to make a full decision. You haven't made a full decision yet. I keep repeating this phrase, full decision, because it's different than just making a decision, right? It's a different thing to decide what you want and then make a full decision and start doing it immediately. Because if you had made a full decision, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, right? Well, what are you doing watching a video if you already made a full decision to go out there and be successful? Then why would you be watching this? You would be doing what you need to do to be successful. So, that's where everybody gets stuck. Executing on the plan. And executing doesn't mean just for one day. It doesn't mean that you had one thing to do today and you checked it off your list. Executing means all day, every day, for a very long time. That's hard. I'll admit it. I mean, I wake up 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm ready to go. I go to my workstation, my office, and I start working. And I do that because I know that that's one of the steps to success. And if it wasn't, probably wouldn't do it. But I made a full decision. I know the answer to that question. If, in the morning I wake up, am I going to be successful today? Am I successful yet? I know the answer to that question because I'm following the steps. And if you didn't know the steps, now you know them, so you don't have any excuse. Your location is not an excuse. The weather is not an excuse. The government, the president, your mom, your dad, not an excuse. Financial situation, oh please don't give me that. If you have $0 in the bank right now, you can still be successful. Make a plan. Decide what you want. Plan for it. Execute. Reevaluate. I mean, it couldn't be easier. So, I get a lot of people writing me and saying, how can I do what you do? How can I start a teaching business? How can I work independently? How can I, travel when I want and work while I travel? And so for all the people who ask me those questions, this video is for you. Because it's like you don't know the plan or something. Now you know the plan. Now you know the steps. Now you know what to do. So, that's pretty much everything that you need in order to be successful. I'm here in the mountains in Virginia, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. People who are obsessed with living in the city might say that it's kind of strange to go out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's scary, but you have to be uncomfortable sometimes if you want to succeed. It's an important thing to remember. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes if you want to succeed, because if you're always comfortable, you're not making any progress. If you're always comfortable, you're just doing the same thing. So you're going to stay in the same place. You're not going to move forward. Make yourself uncomfortable. Make yourself execute, even when you don't want to. Write that plan. Be honest. Be honest about your plan. Don't tell yourself that you're going to make $100,000 a year if your goal was $1 million in 10 years, don't tell yourself you're gonna make 100 grand a year just sitting on your couch watching TV, you know? It's not gonna happen. I can tell you that. I can promise you that. Just sitting on your couch, doing nothing, you're gonna get 0. So, follow the steps. You can be successful. The steps are not hard to follow. Executing is hard. That's what's gonna decide if you're successful or not. So, go out there and be successful, guys.